never come forward and say we don't need capital.
No cap. To be capped up.
10 o'clock on the gram, no you should check me. Here for an hour, I promise this talk is heavy. I'm cooking, just getting started, don't go asking if it's ready. Nah, I'll be damned like we about to break a levee. I sweat, all of this content push my conscience to a beautiful dark, twisted fantasy. I'm a monster, my posture looking like we was winning Oscars. Far from an act, but still acting like we got sponsors. Define us by the work we do, you know the work of few. Willing to get down in the trenches for the perfect view. So if you at me, then be sure to mention purpose too. And alignment, we own it, far from consignment. I seen the light, it was blind to contribute this all the timing. Let it breathe till you find it. Get fresh, then set the table for guests. I told you that we was cooking, this compliments to the chef. Let's go.
We never come forward and say we don't.
Ladies, and welcome to another episode of Cooking the Late Night. I am your host, Cook. And you know we're here for a good time, not a long time. However they say, I just want to be sounding hip because I'm with the coolest person on this, this side of the Mississippi here, Miss Jasmine Pearl. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so for those who aren't familiar, by the way, Jasmine Pearl is like a whole experiential planner. Talk about just a little bit about yourself and who you are as we kick things off.
Okay. I'm Jasmine Pearl. Yes, that is my real name. I am an experiential planner. I plan photo shoots, vacations, events, almost anything that you can think of to plan, sleepovers, everything like that. I am the co-founder of the Posh Experience. Shout out to my other co-founder, Anise. We started TPE back in 2019, and we launched in 2020 as an event planning company.
That's lit.
In COVID.
Congrats on you kind of you came into the world like strong, like ready to take on events.
We were ready.
So and I'm gonna adjust this a little bit for you, get you right, get your volume up right a little bit.
Thank you,
right, perfect.
Thank you.
Success. So that part of it, and talk about the digital content side, right? Because you in these digital streets.
Okay, so yes, that's something that I did start in the pandemic. I was at home and I was bored, and I was just seeing a bunch of stuff that was very depressing, and I didn't want to be sad anymore. I wanted something else to do other than just go to work on my computer and go back to bed. So I started doing Wine of the Week, where I sit and taste and review wines every week or every other week, and that has grown from. Started in I think March. It was on my Instagram story, and it's grown into like its own set with its own like space and place, and I love it.
So and I that's my fault because I had you like jump a little bit ahead into the story a little bit, but we're gonna take it back.
Okay.
All right. So for yourself, because again, event planning and content creating is kind of like a something in more recent times where you start to find your calling. Talk about like. And going to school, like, did you always know that you wanted to be in an event place or reviewing wines? Like,
no.
Like what was your journey like? Like, what was your first initial dream and goal and plan?
Initially, I wanted to work for the FBI, and I wanted to. I wanted to hunt serial killers. That was like my thing. I went to school for criminal justice and political science, so. That's where I started. And then I graduated school and I started to work at a law firm. Thought I wanted to be a lawyer, and I did not, but I did enjoy the food and the drinks.
Oh, we got you graduating too. Like we got you here. Ooh. Like if we want to go in for the audience real quick, just to make sure we all on the same page, we're going to go ahead and tap that one for the, for time, just to give it time, or y'all might be in luck. Like y'all might be really lucky tonight where we're not going to actually show it. Nah, we gonna make sure we bring these back. Let's try it one more time. Let's go to camera 4 for the fun. All right, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it together. Hold up. Yeah, we got it. All right, yeah. It's a whole thing we got for her tonight. She I don't know if she's ready, but we definitely gonna make sure we got the hold up, wait, here we go. A little bit more. And action. Let's there we go. All right, I can't pass go. I can't collect $200. There we go. Jasmine Pearl, graduating.
That's me.
With a whole degree.
Two degrees.
I mean, hold up, wait. We got like there's proof. Like she got a whole 2 degrees out here flexing on them. You know. So talk about going to school for one thing and graduating. What did opportunity look like for you?
Okay, so I went to a really expensive school, and I started with criminal justice, and I was a little bit bored. I wasn't challenged, and I was like, if I'm gonna pay all this money, I might as well get 2 degrees. So that's what I did. Okay. You know, leverage that opportunity.
Smart play. One that most don't do because that requires a lot of work. So talk about like just your work ethic. Like where did that come from to go to school for 2 degrees? Did you have any jobs in college during these times too? Like what was this experience like? Like what was your hustle like?
So I worked 3 jobs at one time for a little while, and I was going to school full time with the 2 the dual degrees. So it was a struggle, but I just kind of love the hustle of being busy all the time. Always like just kind of being in the mix and in the know of what was happening, and also like getting my education and getting my money.
That's it.
That's it.
I mean, I understand. I like it. I respect it. And so getting out of school, you know, the job market, like at what point were you like, you know, this isn't for me? Like, you know, the degrees are degrees, can't take them from you. Nope. But this path isn't for me. Like, when did that come into play for you?
Honestly, I just wanted to live a fabulous life. And I wasn't like, that's not where the path was taking me. It wasn't super fabulous. It wasn't like I had opportunities where I would, you know, enjoy fine dining here and there, but it was very rare that I could do that working at a law firm. It was like, you know, whenever the attorneys had something going on. So I wanted that like whenever I wanted it. So I was just like, yeah, you know what? I need something more fun. I need to be creative. I need to express myself. And I wasn't doing that where I was.
So your motivation was like the lifestyle of like the good eating and food and like.
It's being a foodie, you know?
Oh, I mean, it's like this type of foodie. Like, is this on the screen? Are we live for this? Are we live for this level of a foodie? Are we like no? This your life, right?
That's me.
Yeah. So you've been a foodie like from day one.
Since the beginning, yeah.
Okay, so talk about this. That's that. Once cut, like I'm getting cut. But you know, I mean, talking about like understanding what your interests were and discovering that, and how that kind of led to this next phase or this fabulous life. What did that push you into?
I mean, honestly, like it really just came from loving to taste and try new things. And in order to do that, I needed to make a certain amount of money, but I also need to be around certain types of people. So I just, you know, after I graduated college and I was able to eat like I feel adults should eat, I was just very intrigued by wines and cocktails and how things would elevate my dining experience.
No, I mean, I think that's major, and to take that and to be able to actually, you know, not only just find that lifestyle for yourself, but to see like, yo, there is an opportunity for me to enlighten others, right? So let's talk about it. All right, TPE, it's a
experiential event planning company.
Talk your stuff, and tell us like, how did this opportunity actually come about?
So I have always been the planner friend. I've always been the one to kind of just put little things together. Anytime we wanted to go somewhere or do something, it was, Jazz, can you plan this? Jazz, can you put this together? So just from that, I'm like, you know what? I should actually start charging people. I should make money off of this. And I was really just enjoying putting things together, color palettes, food palettes, wine, all that stuff. I was enjoying doing that for like my friends. And so I was like, let me try to do this on a grand scale for events and like see what I can create. And my first event was my 24th birthday party called 7 Rings Spring Fling.
There's a shot glass that I was going to bring that I heard about, but I didn't want to.
Yes, everybody. Yeah, it was a pretty big thing.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
I saw Ariana Grande's 7 Rings music video, and I was very intrigued by it. I love the women empowerment. I love the pink. I love the fabulousness of it, and it really spoke to me. And I was like, you know what? I want to recreate that to the best of my ability. And my birthday was coming up, so I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. And that was like my first event ever. I wanted to test it on myself to make sure like I actually could do it, and it was a blast.
No, I like that idea of proof of concept, and I think it's something that you do well when it comes to content or ideas. Like, although you might have an idea, like, and we can talk a little bit more about it soon, just with how you kind of like, all right, I like this. I'm gonna do it for me first, and then we're gonna do it for the world. Right. You know, so okay, so you put this event together. How, like, now I see that you actually have a partner. Like, how did it come about with the collaboration? Like, what was that like?
So Anise is just fearless. And so as I was planning my birthday party, I would text Anise and I would just be like, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of these colors? Blah, blah, blah. What is that? Oh, that's Anise. Oh, my sister. So, and I would text a few people during that time about their opinion. And she was the only one that like actually gave me their opinion and other ideas. Yeah. And so like I thought in my head, I was like, damn, we should like go into business together. We should actually do this. But I was too afraid to ask her because I thought she was going to say no. And you know, that would just make things awkward after that. And she's been my best friend for like 10 years. Sure. So one day Anise just asked me, and she was getting married at that time that year. So I was helping her with that. So we were kind of like already in it before we made it official. So when she asked me, it was very awkward. It was like she was asking me out on a date, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, she finally asked me!" Like,
finally.
No, for real, I was so excited and like grateful for her because honestly, if she didn't ask me, I don't think I would have started an event planning company.
Really? Mm-hmm. So you felt like more or less like, you know, it was an idea or something of that nature, but didn't really have like that counterweight or push. So how is it working in a company like with a partner? Like, what does that look like starting out? Because tried it, you know, and oftentimes ideas clash and personalities clash. So talk about like, I know you had a friendship. Talk about like maturating that friendship on a business level as well. Like, what did that look like?
So that's very important to maintain the friendship as well as the business relationship. Anise has been such a blessing to my growth and TPE's growth. Like, and sometimes, yes, our ideas do clash or opinions about things, but it just allows us to grow and it allows us to be in certain situations that may be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And like, just to have her as my best friend, I always know like she has the company's interest at heart. She has my best interest at heart. So it's like easy to lean on that with her when we're going through planning an event.
And with that said, like you guys, I mean, when y'all formed like Voltron, you kind of came out the gate swinging. Like you made things happen. You guys were actually featured in Voyage ATL. Like talk about seeing like this idea that just started off as a, hey, let me try this out, starting to gain traction. Like what was that like for you in terms of opportunities and where you're going?
Definitely. It was amazing. You know, it was just our idea that we were just like, hey, let's try this. And if it doesn't work out, at least we still have each other. You know what I'm saying? But to receive the love that we received and the support and just the features here and there, the interviews, things like that. Like it's wonderful to see like your idea baby, I call them, your idea baby come to fruition and grow and other people be receptive of it.
No, I mean, and I will even reference, you know, like this whole y'all brand, like y'all logo is fire. You know, I think I know why it's fire. You know, I mean, I don't want to shout out a real one, but you know what I mean. Talk about what went into designing the brand. Like actually, like you know, you're talking about idea baby, and like nothing says this is my child more like visibly seeing it. Mm-hmm. So as a first time entrepreneur in this space, like what was it getting that logo back and like, yo, this is us, like this is our stamp going forward. What was that process like?
Yeah, so Anise and I were super nervous about even just getting a logo because we were like, we know what our ideal baby looks like, but not everybody knows. And like an experiential event planning company, it's not really a thing yet. It's just like people have event planning companies, or you have photographers, or you have travel agents or whatever, but we kind of intertwine all of the experiences in life together in this company. So we were just like super nervous about trying to find a graphic designer and then pick somebody, and thankfully like the stars aligned and we found J-Law, and I was still super nervous. He's very professional, very like easygoing, and he just listened to us, asked us as many questions as he could, and then I started to feel comfortable, like, okay, like he's got my idea baby and he's gonna like do what he needs to do. And it came out perfect. Like,
it's like he was like the doula for like
yes.
for like your brand and
Yes.
building out. And I mean, God, if you shout outs to J-Law,
Shout
man,
out to J-Law.
a real one. You already know. So I mean, no, that's fire. So like, all right, you get this, you get your logo back. You guys are off the running. You start to do events. I mean, in 2020,
Yes.
you get your license. Like you're legit now. You got a whole TikTok to it. What was like initially starting your off? What was the vision looking like for you guys?
Oh wow, we had a great big launch event planned for 2020, April 2020, and we had a few other things in the work too. We were going to collab with some other businesses on trips, and kind of COVID came out of nowhere, and we were very like shocked and taken aback because it was something that we were planning for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, 2020 is our time. We had been in business officially, to each other. We had been in business for a full year at that point, and it was just kind of like our baby's first birthday type of thing. We're very dramatic.
But no, I mean, I think for anyone out there, like, that space of being a creative person, and like, our ideas are our babies, like you said, idea babies. So dramatic is not the thing when it comes to being a creative. It's like, yo, this vision is what's going to grow up and is going to take care of me one day. Like you think of a child, like, in that space, and it takes a little more than 18 years, I hear. But and so you guys had to come. One of your last events. Talk about like the last event you were actually able to execute and bring to life, because I think you guys had like a whole fur thing jumping off.
Yes, we did a Durags and Fur birthday party event in January for a client. She is super fabulous, Chanel. She loves 2000s vibes and like throwbacks, and she was like, oh, I want a 2000s party. And we had actually already did a 2000s party in Atlanta the summer before, so I was like, Anise, like, what can we do to elevate this? And it was wintertime, and do-rags are like starting to come back and be a part of our culture again. People are wearing them out. So we were like, let's just do a do-rags and fur type of vibe. And it was just super fun to like create that vibe and then have people come and dress in do-rags and fur.
Nah, that's hard. I like that. I definitely want that's pulled up. So you guys really find out of the box ways to connect with your clients and ultimately their guests. Mm-hmm. And so you were talking a little bit about plans, and it hits like, what does that pivot look like for you guys in this experiential game? Like, what did that look like? How did you pivot so quickly after just getting off the ground? Like that's not something that goes into the starting a business playbook, like a pandemic. Like, I don't know many people who had that in their back pocket, but salute to y'all that did. So, for yourself being in that space, what did that look like in terms of resetting and aligning?
Honestly, at first we took a break. We were just like, okay, this is something that we've never experienced before.
As humanity.
And we just kind of noticed what other people were doing with like different lives or different things that you can do on Instagram, and it became oversaturated. Mm-hmm. So we were just like, you know what, we don't have to make this or that or bingos. Like, we can just chill out because nothing's happening right now. Back in March, April, May, like nothing was happening. So it was just like, you know what, let's just listen to God and what he's telling us to do, which is sit down. So that's what we did. And then we started to do photo shoots as like something to as a give back to people that missed us. And
we got a photo shoot here, you know.
That was our first photo shoot that we did in COVID. Our COVID shoot, it was my 25th birthday. And I didn't even have any plans to do anything, honestly. That was the week after. It was the week before our event was supposed to be. Our launch event was supposed to be. So I wasn't trying to do anything crazy. But my mom, she was making masks for hospitals, prisoners, homeless people. And so she was trying to raise money.
And we're gonna shout out moms.
Mama.
We're gonna shout out mom too. Make sure she get a shine. But yeah, so she was making the mask.
See, I've been fabulous.
Nah, talk your stuff. Talk your stuff.
So I wanted to help my mom and just to raise money, and I have a background in fundraising, so I was like, let me just do like a nice little birthday fundraiser and try to raise some money for my mom so she can get these masks out to people. And we raised $500. Well, myself. And it was super successful. Everybody loved it.
Oh, see, now that's a pivot play. Like, you know, it's not something that you anticipate, but you found a way to rally behind not only yourself, but to give back in the process. Like, you know, for yourself and building this out, like, is that kind of ingrained in like your brand, like the whole give back, even as you're going along the way? Like, where did that come from for you?
Definitely, like myself, TPE, we come from. Well, we're from Jersey City, and we had to work for everything that we have today. So it's like a never forget where you came from. Always try to help other people. My whole brand is about people learning and growing. So it's like, how can I not give back? You know what I'm saying? And in the pandemic, like it was such a hard time for a lot of people. And I was miserable, but I was like, you know what? I still have my job. I still have my health. I have a roof over my head. Like I can pay my bills. And so at my birthday time, it was like, it's not even about me. Like so many other people are struggling. So like, let me try to do something to help out.
That's hard. Nah, I mean, honestly, salute to you. Because, you know, I ain't going to hold you. You know, if I had a birthday early COVID, it'd have definitely been like, nah, like it's about me. The world done shut me out. Y'all don't like me, but I'm here, you know. But, you know, I think the way that you went about it kind of, it also lays some foundations for some things to come in your brand. And one of the things, right, you kind of alluded to it earlier, this show, Wine of the Week. You know, and tell us, you were talking a little bit about it earlier. And now you got a bottle in your hand, so you know, segue. What are we sipping tonight, by the way? Like, let's set the mood for those at home.
All right, this is a brut sparkling wine that we have here. It's pronounced Freshness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We googled it in the car. It's pronounced Freshness, and I mean, I think it's pretty smooth. It's on the drier side, but I feel like it's very crisp. And it just kind of is very mature. I feel like this is a very famous brand. You can find it at most of the stores.
So you pretty much giving a small sample of your show. So you might as well get like what is your show that you walked into? Tell us about Wine of the Week and you know how it came about.
I love wine. Let's start there. But in my wine journey, I wasn't like before COVID. I wasn't really keeping up with the different types of wines that I was having. And so this Wine of the Week kind of started out as my fun, creative way to talk about the wines that I was trying, but also like just keep track of them and find like what I enjoyed. And I started out reviewing wines on my Instagram story. It was the day I got sent home from work. It was the day I got sent home. And I was like, damn, what am I going to do? Went to the liquor store and I got some wine and I was like, let me talk about this. Let me express, you know, how I feel, what I taste. And I'm sure other people are going to be drinking wine or whatever during this time too. So started that. And
we got this little early photo screenshot of you and your show. And I think like, you know, it's just like, I mean, what an amazing way, like talk about turning lemons into lemonade or apples and apple juice. I don't know if that's a thing, but it sounds good too.
Apples are already good.
Are they? So, no. But no, I mean, you talk about like taking this because I mean, a lot of people hit their wine cabinet when COVID started. I personally, I'm not the heaviest of drinkers just in general, but it's something I could appreciate. Like I understood everyone's like the world's ending. Let's grab a glass. Let's toast a little bit. So it started to take shape for a lot of people. But you flipped it and made it content. Like you made casual drinking content. Like how was that, and what was it like actually creating it in content form? Like actually taking it further than just drinking.
Well, it started off as fun. Like I just wanted to drink wine, and I needed a reason to have all this wine in my house. But wine just gives you like a very sophisticated feeling. It makes you relax, it makes you feel sexy. All of these different things wine can do depending on which one you drink. And so if you're in a house for weeks or months at a time, it's just like, I feel like this is acceptable to drink by yourself. So I was like, let me just hit up the store and grab all of these wines and start tasting them. So it was just like, let me go through the whole thing of an actual tasting, the smell, the way it looks, the way it tastes, obviously. And people enjoyed it, and they started to ask me for recommendations or different types of wines to review. So it really grew because of my audience as well, and their receptiveness to it.
And as we're layering this over, the clips playing, kind of showing a little bit of like your earlier days in video form, like what that looked like, you bringing on your guests, like that was, I mean, it's a solid, like, just kind of play. And so talk about getting your friends involved, because you said your audience is what grew it. How did, you got like a lot of support, like your support system is not lacking in this effort. So talk about reaching out to them and what made you like say, hey, are you open to this, or bringing them on with you? Like, how did that begin?
So I wanted to add a different element to the show. As a person that loves wine, I know that everybody doesn't feel the same way that I do. So, or just know the things that I know, or will try the things that I will try. So I just brought on somebody else that is opposite of me. And I was like, hey, do you want to taste this with me? Like, and rock out over during the night after work, like let's just chill, drink some wine, play some games. And they were like, oh yeah, like let's do it. What else are you gonna do?
I mean, it's COVID.
In a quarantine.
Well, you shouldn't have done anything else. There's a whole city by the name of Miami that might argue different, but you shouldn't have been doing nothing else. So for those who were inside, this was an absolutely great way to kind of connect. And so you start off there, and what makes you say like, yo, I kind of see something here. Like, when did you recognize what the show could be or what it does?
I mean, I think it got into maybe like my third or fourth guess. I'm not sure. I always
because of the wine.
I always wanted to add another element to the show. So we did a wine and play, and each guest we would play a different game. And I had to be super creative with this because we were not physically together. Sure. So I'm like, how the hell do you play a game over like a video chat or something and just make it seem interactive that like people want to watch? And shout out to Google and my creative, like my crazy brain. But the two of us, we came up with something each week, and we made something great. And then from once things started to like, I don't want to say die down. Once things started to open back up, I opened up my
safety measures. When safety measures expanded, sure,
and they let us back outside. I started to open up my show to different in-person guests, and that was a different feeling because it had just been me in my room or me in a different part of my house. And
we're gonna play the one with you and your brother.
My brother.
So this is you playing a whole like game.
Oh, blindfolded?
Yeah.
See, I love doing spicy stuff. I love it.
You like going to the edge.
Yes. So I was like, let's get drunk and blindfold ourselves and draw pictures.
Uh-huh. And so you were like, this is the game of this one. And you guys were reviewing the wine, and I'll reference the wine here. You had it kind of in this photo here, yes. Shouting it out. Shout outs to Uncle Snoop.
Uncle Snoop.
For that 19 Crimes wine. Sure. But I mean, it's just such a just great way to kind of, I would even say culturally introduced the idea of wine tasting. Like, did you realize that there was like, I don't want to say a hole in the market, please, because no one really thinks of that. But
there aren't a lot of Black people in wine. Like,
okay,
like let's just be honest and start there.
Yeah.
And even myself, I'm not a certified sommelier.
Yeah.
I looked into the classes though. I'm not certified yet, but it's not something that we are introduced to. It's not something that we know too many things about. So a lot of my guests, like they weren't wine drinkers at all, but they were very open to trying things, and like now they can influence other people to try wines and different things. So that really makes me feel good, to just get it out into my community and to people my age. Like, you don't have to be super rich. You don't have to spend a bunch of money on wine. Like, a lot of the bottles that I got were like under $20. I'm fabulous, but I'm not rich yet.
Talk your talk. Talk your talk. Nah, go off.
So I think it definitely like just opened up the market to people like me.
Nah, so what you're saying is you're an influencer. Like, on record, because you just said I introduced it to people and they can influence others. So the source of that influence is that's cool. We can move forward. And so honestly, I would say the same for myself. Like, I can't say that I was anywhere near understanding wine and wine pairing and what that even meant. I would go to a restaurant and be like, yo, what y'all got? Like, and just pick something that sounded good and hope for the best. And sometimes you're upset with yourself. So, I think that you really found this lane. And I mean, it was definitely one that is of value, because I think that wine is an experience, right? It's not alcohol that it kind of puts you down and, the next day you're trying to figure out what happened. It shouldn't. But, as far as, curating this and building this out, and then you go from episodes to in person, and then you were like, nah, I'm gonna take my content another level. We going spooky, like talk about even this part of you and like what it was to elevate your content and your design and to really like dive into it.
Okay, so that was very timely, because anybody that knows me knows I love Halloween. It's my absolute favorite holiday. And this year, because, of COVID and Halloween was a little bit different for most of us. I was like, how can I still celebrate my favorite holiday and be extra about it the way that I want to be? And Wine of the Week needed more episodes. And I just came up with 5 different characters that I could be, all like great women. Mm-hmm. And I tasted the wine as the character. I would pair the wine like with the personality of the character. Again, my idea baby, crazy brain. And it was so much fun, and like it was also received very well. Like, people were looking forward to costumes even into November. I was like, yo, I'm done. Like,
it's over. We did it.
We did 5. I did 5.
Nah, that's. I think that's just, again, it shows what social media is supposed to be and what content is supposed to be, which is essentially sourced through the person who it is. It's their personality, what you are fascinated and interested in. It was very organic, and for you, so this time frame, like, were other opportunities coming your way? Like, as you were doing this show, like, what did start to happen in terms of you in this new digital space?
So a few ambassadorships came my way. One that I'm working on, so I'm not gonna announce it yet, but I am working with Tipsy Dollars.
Hey, shout out to Tierra.
Shout out to Tierra, Miss Dollars. She does amazing, fun cocktails. And so that was like right up my alley. And I was like, yeah, girl, I'll definitely, give you some great content, which is coming. And again, I can do what I love to do, drink alcohol and create fun content. So I'm looking forward to that segment of it.
Now, I know we've been talking a lot about like just what you've done, right? And I think that the one thing that I don't want to have overlooked is just the mindset it takes to do all these things, because you're freely flowing through it because it's your story and journey. But I think there's a lot of like just conversations that you have to have with yourself. Like, let's talk about consistency. What was that like? Like doing a show where you're recording something every other week, but weekly episodes are coming out. Like, what does that type of pressure look like, and what does that look like in terms of perseverance when you're starting out?
I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. When I started, I was able to like hide behind my Instagram stories and just like, just post whenever I want to on my Instagram stories. But people are like, I really like this, like take it, I want to see more, or every week or whatever. And so I was like, okay, like I could try it, and that's what I did. And then I just kind of felt attached to it, another idea baby, and I couldn't let my child down. So I was just like, or my audience, my friends and family. So I was just like, you know what, like people enjoy seeing this. I love doing this, like, and I just kind of try to take the pressure off. Like every idea that you have does not have to be like super amazing. Like it can just exist and live and just be fun. And I had a few people ask me like the same question, how do you, or just like, how do you get the courage to do it? And like, because I hadn't been creating content before COVID, like I just been posting on Instagram, like a regular person. But again, it was a pandemic and I was like, you know what? Like people are doing a bunch of shit and some of it's not making sense. So I can do what I want to do as well. And, just allow it to exist. Just allow it to be something fun and enjoyable for myself and to other people.
No, and I think, just to have it that way, like, if there's a lot of things that were said and, maybe missed by a few people, I just want you to know, anybody out there with an idea or a thought, just start. Like, I think that's where it boils down to, even for this show that we reference, it starts off on Instagram, IGTV, and, next thing you know, you kind of do a little bit more, but, you find yourself in a place where it's like, let me just see what people think. Like proof of concept is a very strong, kind of draw, like almost attracted to people. Because then as you grow, people watch the growth. Like they actually get to do that with you. Has there been people who follow from the beginning and like, yo, oh my gosh, like where you are now, like you're a real content creator. Help me. Like, what does it look like now in this space? And let's start with that before my next question.
Okay. So yes, I have had people reach out to me like, oh, I want to start doing this. I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to do this. I'm like, I don't do YouTube. Like my stuff is strictly on Instagram for a reason. But I am still like figuring this out, especially as Instagram keeps changing. Who can keep up?
They about to lose. They about to lose me. You hear me?
Especially as just things in general keep changing. So it's a constant learn. I don't think it's something that anybody really has a full grasp on. It's just like you learn as you go, or you try, you testify, you see what works, what hits, what doesn't. And there are so many reasons why things may not hit. Like I've had certain videos like I feel like, oh my gosh, it flopped, and then like a couple days later, I get more views, or I get more likes and stuff like that. So it's a science, but I really just try to have fun with it.
I actually want to even ask you that, like, as someone who puts things on Instagram, right? And there's a very strong influencer world of people who post and, they kind of live for the likes. Talk about like, not like, what is that? Either fear of, oh my gosh, this didn't do well, or acceptance of it is what it is. Like, where do you find yourself in that balance, and how do you just live with content if it doesn't pop? Or if it's just there?
Well, I put 100% into what I do, and anytime I post something, I'm proud of it. So even if I have a moment of, oh, this isn't getting as many views or likes or shares or whatever, like at the end of the day, if it's gonna be shown 20 years from now, like the likes aren't gonna matter. Like, and I'm still gonna be proud of the work that I put out. So it's always being able to lean back on that. And then just also my close support system, talking to them like, hey, I'm super scared about this, or hey, this didn't go as well as I thought. And like having them tell me like, you did a great job. Like it looks great. You did what you were supposed to do. And that encourages me and gets me to, you know, silver lining. I'm a silver lining person. That
Oh, I was on my camera was up too. Oh, okay, cool.
That puts me back to where I need to be, and it's just like, just keep going, just keep creating, and have fun with it.
No, that's lit, and I think you definitely do that. It shows in the content. It's something that resonates with your audience as well because they keep coming back, they keep supporting. So I'm gonna ask the question that they can't ask you right now, and where do you see Wine of the Week going, or what's next for Wine of the Week?
Oh, well, after our little Halloween segment that we did, and I ended strong with Miss Sweetie as my last costume, I was just like, you know what, I need a break. And that's another thing. Like, this content stuff is all fun and games. Is that Sweetie?
That's Sweetie. It's your one. It's actually like your whole cover, like, because you was on some, like, you was designing this, like, you were your editor. We're gonna talk about that person next, but finish that question. Because go ahead.
What was I saying?
So you were talking about what's next for
Oh yeah, okay. So
after Sweetie,
after Miss Sweetie, that was my big ending. I needed a break. Like, I love doing it, but it's tiring, and you know, I'm thinking about some stuff for Christmas, Thanksgiving, you know, a little holiday jam. Everybody loves the holidays. So honestly, I don't know. that's the real answer. I don't know. But
yeah,
I trust the process. I trust that, like, an idea is gonna come to me. If it comes to me, if it doesn't, if it takes me somewhere else, like, I'm just on this journey. I'm still super young. Like, this isn't gonna make or break me. And I'm ready to come back with content, but I'm not in love with anything yet. So I'm just gonna chill until I find something else.
You know, honestly, it's refreshing to hear, and I think, you know, a couple things. One, it shows like you don't chase the content, you let it be, you know. And the way I view it is almost like a music artist nowadays. Like, you know, as much as we all want Rihanna's project, we also know when we get it, you know. And that's kind of the thing that you're kind of saying. Like, you know, this is something that, yes, it has an identity, yes, it has a brand, but I don't need to force this on you guys. I don't need to, like, it should be what it's supposed to be when it's supposed to be. And you know, you talked about it being tiring, and you know, for someone who just watched it, they're probably like, tiring, girl, you just sat in front of a camera. Like, talk about what goes behind putting out one piece of content, like one episode. What does that look like for you?
I mean, it all starts with a nice Google Doc. I go through different wines.
Wait, don't give them all your secrets too, because you know there's a consultation fee for that too. So yeah, I mean, just give them a little bit. You know, we're gonna make sure them checks clear first.
It starts with the pen and paper.
Right. I ain't gonna tell you where, but if you Google a doc,
it starts with me, like, picking out a wine, and then I'm very into, like, style as well. So I kind of obsess about that, the way the set looks, the way I look.
Sure.
And then going into filming, like, I do everything by myself. So, like, the camera setup, the way things sound, like, sometimes I have to record things 2 or 3 times because it's just like, if I look at the camera and then I go and sit down and film, I can't see what's happening. Like, I'm just talking, I'm tasting, whatever. So then I go back and I look at it and I'm like, damn, like, this is wrong, or you can't hear me, or a truck went by, like something crazy, and I have to start all over again. So
you're just drinking, just going.
And that's another thing. Like, I'm also drinking while I'm doing this. I drink before, you know, because you have to taste before the show.
Expertise. You can't be the expert and not know.
Come on and not know what I'm saying.
Sure.
So I'm drinking throughout this process, and then after that I go to sleep. And all of that editing that goes into it, like, I like for my videos to, like, have a certain feel to them. I don't feel like I'm a super funny person, so, like, I like
not that funny.
I'm funnier than you. I like to keep my videos short and sweet.
Don't let it lie to you.
And just music for, like, comedic pauses. I'm very, like,
I mean, you know,
I'm very particular about how my things come out, and then just going into creating a visual for it in terms of just like a thumbnail. Like, I want things to look crisp and clean. Like, I have a team, but I don't.
I got a team of me.
Team of me, my first 9.
Nah, that's fine. I mean, and again, like I like this for anyone who feels like I can't start because of X, because X is always an excuse.
Mhm.
You know, you can say I don't have a great camera. Well, iPhone's got a pretty decent camera. You can switch the phone settings to 4K.
4K.
That's a gem for you guys. You know, you can, easily use some headphones to record it, and you can just put it out there.
Mhm.
And so, I really find it as, just refreshing to see like another creative who didn't even come from like I want to be a creative realm like the rest of us, but by all intensive words, purposes, you fully have embraced this journey and path. And so, what are some other things that you are working on currently in this space? Like now that you've done your wine of the week and that's taken a break and you've been able to woosah, like is there something else coming up for you or for TPE or any of those spaces?
TPE is working on an event for December. I'm not allowed to say what it is.
You're a grown person. You're a grown person. You can say what you want.
We are doing Cook's 75th episode event December 18th.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's your birthday.
It is my birthday. Yikes, almost lost you there.
So we're doing Cook's 75th episode event. We're sponsoring it, and it's gonna be posh, live studio audience. And my favorite part about doing this event is the menu. Cause
you're a foodie. So like, what's up? You in the wine world? Like, when you want to step into that food life, like, and start judging them?
I really want to be a food critic. That is my like retirement goal. Like, I want people to pay me and fly me out to different restaurants and taste and judge their food.
All right, that sounds like a you thing. Flew out and tasting foods. I mean, brand. All right, so I've been appreciating. Clearly, we can keep this conversation going, but to concise, and our producer is also locked in right now. So my guy Hunt, in the backstage, we're gonna tap in with you soon. You can share that screen because we're gonna turn up to you real soon. But I have to ask this question to you that I ask every guest. So you may know it, but what does legacy look like for you?
Okay. Let's see. Legacy to me looks like, I guess you like talking about the future. Doing what you want to do. And I'm a person, I tell everybody that meets me, I do whatever I want to do. And I don't like to hear no. I don't like to hear rejections. So doing what you want to do, finding comfort in that, and then like passing that on to your spouse, your friends, your children, and like allowing them to live as freely as you do. We often find ourselves on a path and then we're like, oh, I'm here. So like I have to stick it out. And life is not, I don't feel like life is that structured.
Sure.
So my legacy is just kind of passing on my free spirit.
I like that. I mean, I think that's, something that goes beyond just individualism, of course, because it's the goal of empowering those around you to appreciate the life that they choose to live.
Good one.
Yeah. YOLO? Is that a thing still?
No.
I don't know. Shout outs to that whole scene. But no, with that said, where can we follow you? How can we support you? And yeah, this Jasmine Pearl, who we ain't even touch on the whole brand of Jasmine Pearl, but it's part two one day.
Jasmine Pearl is actually my name.
Shout outs to moms.
Shout out to my mama. But also I like to kind of hone in on the pearl because of the process that it takes to make a pearl. Like it goes through a lot of stuff to get to where it needs to be, and it takes months, and you mold it and you perfect it, and then you have this great product. So I like to think of all of the content or just anything that I do, like in life, I put my own like touch on it. It's customized, and when it's out there, and I'm proud of it. and it's flawless.
Talk your talk. I like it. All right, so look, here's what we're gonna do because we are almost close to wrapping up. We're gonna tap in and bring up my guy Chris Hunt. We're gonna bring him to the screen real quick. My guy, what's going on with you, Brody?
Bro, what's good? What's good?
Chilling, man. How you feeling over there?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. You know, same old.
Dope. We gonna change this perception real quick of you and me, right? Look at you a little differently. I like how you look over there, all with the vibe and the lights. Real quick, man. Introduce yourself and you know, let's cook. Let's share your screen. Bring all that in. We gonna vibe out for this last one.
Got you. So to everybody that's viewing, my name is Chris Hunt, music producer from Jersey City, New Jersey. Currently in Queens, New York right now. But yeah, I produce various genres, R&B, hip hop, reggae, dance, anything that you could really think of. But for this episode here, it's a hip hop feel that I'll be sharing with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I sampled with this. So, you know, just vibe out. Let me know what you think, and that's it.
All right, let's rock. All right, share that screen and let's keep going.
All right, 1 sec, bro. Let me switch up here.
Okay. Hey yo, honestly, bro. Like, Hunt.
Yeah. You hear me?
I got a easy couple ready. I got a couple in the chamber for that one. Hey. I got, you know, I found a diamond in the rough. I found a pearl on the gram. Like, what's up? Like, I got a couple. I got some bars. Like, let me know. Let me know. It's cool. No, we gonna take it light tonight. Yo, so how can we support you? Like, how can we follow you, broski?
Pretty much IG, Etna Music, at Etna Music, ETNUH Music. You can also visit my website, www.etnamusic.com, and you can check out my catalog. You can check out my sample packs. And yeah, man, just stay in touch with me, man. You know, that's it.
Yo, my guy.
Yep.
Love you, bro. Proud of you. I like the vibe over there too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I gotta come through. Like, you the only reason why I'm from New York. I'm gonna be real with you. You the only reason. But I got to, man. But yo, we gonna wrap offline, man. I appreciate you tremendously, bro. And that he
appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Of course, man. You have a good one, man.
You too.
All right. Well, look, that's us cooking up. My guy, Chris Hunt, Etna Music. We are closing out. Miss Jasmine Pearl, any closing remarks for those of us that are tuned in and are locked in right now?
Oh, I'm not really good at this.
Okay, you can throw it back to me. You can do that.
I'm throwing it back to Cook.
Hey, all right, dunked it. So once again, good morning to all my creators. I know you guys are like, man, we really went through the process today, and that's because we have to understand the process of creators. You know, you can start off on one path, and be in the legal field, be almost in the direction of like a full-on snitch, but come back to society and be a creative, you know, because that's what we do as creatives. We are all creative. We are born creative. We have everything we need inside of us to succeed. And I appreciate Miss Jasmine Pearl for coming on the show and just showing that no matter what path you are on, you can always switch gears and run full steam ahead. So thank you. Good morning to all my creatives. Y'all stay cooking. We out.